stopping by my channel. This is Anna's Aqua Home, where I sew, craft, and DIY. I make things for my house and homemade items to give away as gifts. And today I just had a few minutes to craft. Do you set aside a specific time to craft, or do you just craft as you get the time? I find that if you don't make time for it and really have a time that, okay, this is when it's going to happen, it doesn't get done. But sometimes life encroaches on those times and you don't have a big chunk of time to do something, you just have a small little bit. And this project that I'm going to be making today is perfect for those times. I used 2.5-inch squares that were just scraps left over from another project, and I was able to whip up this patchwork bookmark really quickly. This just gives you something as you go about your everyday life. You have something handmade to use. I love using my favorite fabrics, and I especially love when you have your favorite fabrics but they're getting in really small amounts and you only have scraps left. This is a great project. You see it every day, so you still really enjoy it, but it's not a huge project. So before I talk too long, let's get into how I made this bookmark. To start this project, you're going to need some 2.5-inch squares. I already had some from a previous project, but if you don't have any scrapped, now's the time to go ahead and cut some. You only need 8 squares for this bookmark, so really only cut a few from each fabric. Once you have the layout how you want them, go ahead and start sewing them together with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Here are my 2 lines of 4. So there's no specific pattern, just how you want them, and then decide how you want them matched up. So one side is going to be the front, one side is going to be the back. You could make these perfectly symmetrical or kind of give it the scrappy look like I did. Go ahead and press down your seams either with a sewing machine or just with your fingernail, just kind of making sure that the top seams go one way and the seams on the other side go the opposite way. That'll just make it really nice when you go to sew. There won't be seams facing the same direction and adding extra bulk. When you push the one seam one way and the other seam the other way, it lays it down really nicely when you go to sew over it. Cut a small piece of batting and then you are ready to sew. Now before you get ready to sew, you need to make sure that your fabrics are in the right order. 2 fabrics, right sides together with the batting on either the top or the bottom. So it's going to go fabric, fabric, batting. And you're going to sew all the way around the edge, leaving a small 2-inch opening. Once that is sewn, go ahead and clip the corners, not over what you've sewn, just to get the excess away from the edges for when we turn this right side out. And then go ahead and turn it right side out. I find chopsticks really help to get the points nice and crisp. Alright, our bookmark is slowly getting there. Go ahead and where that opening is that you didn't sew, tuck that down so that it lays nice and flat. We are going to sew over this bookmark 1/8 of an inch from the edge or very close to the edge so that we catch those opening fabrics and it's nice and secure. Here's our bookmark completely done. We caught that edge in the fabric and it finished it very nicely. Now that we've sewn all around our bookmark, you can decide if you want to quilt it. I decided to just go, horizontally across the short lines just to sew it together to give it a little bit more of a quilted look. You could do long lines, you could do even different stitches if you wanted to use a decorative stitch to go over it. You just add whatever quilting you want, and it doesn't even need it, but I just wanted to add a little something. This is a perfect quick project when you don't have very much time and you just want a little something. This also makes a great gift to give a book lover in your life. Even giving it with a book would be really nice. I will go ahead and link some of my favorite quilting and sewing books in the description if you want to check out some of my favorite books that I've enjoyed over the years. Of course, giving it a quick iron at the end is always super helpful to get it looking its best, and then it is ready to be used.